The widespread presence of adversity and its effect on children in India was the impetus for developing the Life Skills Assessment Scale, or the LSAS. We needed a scale that could be contextualized to the Indian problem with its magnitude of adversity and number of children with stunted growth and impaired cognitive development. Now, while we know that life skills can help children recover the deficits caused by adversity and catch up to their developmental milestone, there is a myth. There is a myth that life skills is too intangible and cannot be scientifically and accurately measured. In 2006, as we at Dream a Dream were running our programs, we asked ourselves, how do we know our programs are having the desired impact? And so we looked around. We looked around the world to find the different ways in which life skills was being measured. There was no tool designed in the context of India, and more importantly, none of the tools were developed around the context of child adversity. In 2007, we set out to develop a scale that could be used to measure and assess life skills. We partnered with clinical psychologists, Dr. David Pearson and Dr. Fiona Kennedy, who have between them many years working in the field of child development and psychology. The first step in developing an assessment was to know the question we wanted to answer. And the question we arrived at was, and continues to be, how do you measure whether young people have the life skills to thrive in a fast-changing world? We wanted to start with the discrete population of children and young people in India who, due to adversity, face a unique set of challenges and have a specific developmental pattern. In order to develop a standardized scale with inter-rater reliability, we carried out a literature review to set the context for the project and to investigate the most up-to-date research in terms of life skills. We chose the World Health Organization's definition of life skills, published in 1997, as a globally influential framework. Next, we presented a summary of the literature review and the World Health Organization definitions to focus groups in India, which were mainly made up of teachers from local schools for disadvantaged children, NGO workers, volunteers working with disadvantaged children, and young people with disadvantaged backgrounds. At the end of this process, 5 observable behaviors of life skills appeared appropriate and feasible, namely interacting with others, overcoming problems and finding solutions, taking initiative, managing conflict, and understanding and following instructions. We then developed the scale using the 5 life skills. We tested it with 1,136 young people in 3 age brackets: 8 to 10 years old, 11 to 13 years old, and 14 to 16 years old. We saw a distribution like a bell curve. We also tested for inter-rater reliability to make sure that each of the 5 items in the scale were relevant. We found out that the average score or norm for each of the age groups is 2.5. In other words, they were similar across the age groups with a standard deviation of 0.75. It took us 7 years to develop the LSAS, which we believe is a robust scale which meets the criteria of being both standardized and reliable. Our paper, the Life Skills Assessment Scale, measuring life skills of disadvantaged children in the developing world, was extensively peer-reviewed by scholars across the world and then published in 2014 in an international journal titled Social Behavior and Personality. Our study shows that the LSAS is a simple, quick, and yet reliable and valid measure of the skills of disadvantaged and developmentally different children and young people in the developing world.